guys look up there, see that big old black hole up there? Up on the side of the mountain? That's the main shaft. That goes 600 feet straight down.
Oh, wow.
And there's 3 miles of tunnels in that mountain right there. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hiking up that mountain there, and you're going to go down that ladder to the 400-foot level.
Awesome.
Sweet. Oh, come on.
No. We're actually yeah, you guys are probably too crazy for this. No. So we're going back in over here at the 200-foot level because we are 200 foot below that big hole. That big hole is ground zero.
Okay.
We're going in behind that big old white hill over there. When this mine is founded, like I said, 1861 it starts. What they're doing is they're looking for this white rock. There's a gentleman by the name of John Moss. He's looking for this white rock. What this is quartz. Wherever there's quartz, there's a chance of gold, silver, copper, iron being in this rock itself. This piece right here, you guys can see there's a bunch of rust and stuff in this rock. Is your copper itself. But, you know, quartz just transports all that gold and silver, all that stuff from deep in the earth up to the surface itself. So this John Moss is talking to the Paiute Indians here, asking them, have you seen this white rock? They kept saying Techatticup. What that means in Paiute is, I'm hungry. So he gives them food and flour in exchange. They tell him where this white rock is. This white rock is coming out of the ground right there. So once again, looking at that big old black hole, right at the bottom of it, it looks like there's a road going to the right and the left. At the bottom of that hole, that's not a road at all. That's actually where this quartz vein comes out of the ground, and those miners start digging into it. That's actually a huge crack. So if you tried hiking up over that mountain, you're not going to make it past that big old crack right there. It's just 10, 12 foot wide going up through there. Now when you guys are watching TV, these guys are panning for gold. That's your placer gold. So placer is your flakes, your nuggets, your specks of gold, like stuff you can actually see with your eye. That's what these guys are panning. We don't have that. We have a microscopic fine gold. They need chemicals to process that. So what these guys are doing is drilling into this rock. They're blasting it out. It's coming out in big pieces like these. They want to crush this rock up as fine as they can. So what they're going to do is they're going to take this, put it in a rock crusher, a stamp mill. These are some shoes from a stamp mill. These are getting picked up by a machine, and it's getting dropped down on this rock, and it's busting this rock up into gravel-sized pieces. So those gravel-sized pieces are looking just like this right here. They need to get it even finer, so what they're going to do is they're going to put this into a ball mill. A ball mill is kind of like a cement mixer. It can be this big, be as big as this little car right here. I've seen them the size of school buses, loaded with these steel balls. They can be smaller, bigger than these. I got one right here. This guy weighs about 220 pounds right there. So they're going to put this rock into that machine. As this machine goes around, it's going to crush that rock up into a powder. That powder then falls out. It's as fine as flour. Now they're going to take that crushed up, that powder, that crushed up rock. We're going to put them into these big wood and metal tanks out there. So about 100 yards out, you can see those big wood and metal tanks out there. That's called a slurry tank. So what a slurry tank is, it's they're making a slurry. So it's a 60-40 mix of dirt and water into that tank right there. They're going to add lime, cyanide into that. They're going to have big air lines coming into the bottom, kind of pumping hot air into that. That hot air, the lime, the cyanide kind of have a chemical reaction. It actually adheres to your golds and silvers. So it grabs a hold of your golds and silvers. And what they're going to do is they're going to pump all the, it actually floats up to the top in a froth. It's like beer froth. They skim that froth off, run it through a series of screens. These screens grab a hold of your gold and silvers. They shake the screens out. They're left with just microscopic gold and silver dust. Lots of it. But they heat that up, melt it, and they're going to pour it into a mold. And that will create a dory bar. So a dory bar is your gold and silver all mixed into one bar. And they're going to ship that out of here. Now, like I was saying earlier, 1861 to 1900, all the ore is put into wagons and taken 5 miles down this canyon right here to the Colorado River. So the Colorado River itself is 5 miles down. That's where the mill site is all the way until 1900. Steamboats are coming up and down this river, all the way from Yuma, Arizona. So Yuma is 400 plus miles down this river. They're bringing all the supplies from clothing to ore buckets, these steel balls, just anything these guys need is coming up on these steamboats right here. In 1900, they do tear this mill site down, and they build the mill site actually right here. So from 1900 to 1942, everything's processed right here. We'll go ahead and come inside now. I got some more stuff for you guys.
How long does it take, like the process from when they blast to like having the actual
The final.
bar?
So
Like,
all in
that
all,
seems
what they're
like
doing
such an extensive process.
is the more ore they're producing, the more people they have working for them.
So, okay.
Now this right here, you know, they're blasting. It's inside. They're doing about 3 foot a day. So literally, they're going to drill about 3 foot into the rock.
A day.
Muck that out, and you know that's quite a few tons right there in a day.
Yeah.
Now they still have to crush it up,
Yeah.
so it all just depends on how big their process is that they have going. Oh yeah, days and days and days. Yep.
Just to get like a bar.
Yep. And they might not even be using these big slurries at all.
Yeah.
They just might be in there going real slow, just getting a big pile of rock and then kind of just moving their manpower to crushing it, and then eventually, and in their heydays, they had 140 plus people working.
Wow.
So you got a lot more
That's a lot.
stuff going on. So.
Cool.
All right, foamy right on
I don't know if that's steel. Oh, it might be. You might be right. I should look at that. I don't. If it's a if it magnetized, then it would be. But cool.
All right, so this is John Moss. So once again, John Moss is the guy who actually starts this mine right here. So this picture itself was taken in 1863. Now, it was actually taken right on the other side of this hill right here. Nevada doesn't even become a state till 1864, so this is still the Arizona territory when this is started right here. So once again, John Moss is the one who starts this mine. When 1861, we got the American Civil War going on. These miners are coming out from back east, trying to produce money to help fund the war itself. The Native American Indians, these are Paiute Indians going north, Mojaves going south, all the way down into the ocean down there. They've never seen a white man, so they're robbing them, they're killing them, they're wreaking havoc on the miners out here. Abraham Lincoln actually sends American soldiers here to protect the miners from the Native American Indians, but they said these soldiers were a lot more headache than the actual Native American Indians. So, what he's trying to do is become friends with them, though. So this is Iritaba. So all four of these pictures right here, the same guy. He's the chief of the Mojaves, thousands of Indians. He's trying to become friends with them. So what he does is he invites, John Moss invites Iritaba to meet Abraham Lincoln in 1863. He agrees to it. They actually get on the wagon train. That wagon train goes out to L.A. From there, they jump on a ship, take that to San Francisco. They love him out there. So like the reporters and stuff, they call him Big Chief. They're just having a field day with this guy. They're palling up with him. They just love the guy. But long story short, he jumps on a big ship, takes it all the way down to Panama. Panama Canal is not there. They walk across Panama. They jump on another ship, take that to Washington, D.C. He gets on a train to New York City. He's with Lincoln. He's in Washington, D.C. for 4 days. He's with Lincoln. Lincoln actually gives him a peace medallion, a silver-tipped cane. He's just trying to create peace with these guys. It does work. When he does come back, an American reporter asks him, so what's the greatest thing you've seen on your journeys? If you think about it, the Native American Indians are living in the Stone Age, rock tools, they're sleeping in rock and mud huts, they're not even close to as advanced as New York City, for say. He's never seen a train, ships, these big factories, that they have. So what's the greatest thing he saw? Was actually none of that. It was actually the big blue whales swimming out in the ocean was the greatest thing he said he saw. When he was asked, what do you think about Americans? Americanas, too much talk, too much eat, too much drink, no work, no raised pumpkins, watermelon, corn, all the time, walk, talk, drink, no good. That's a fair statement. Here is the mill site right here. So once again, if you guys were to get in a car, drive straight down this road, the road is going to come to a dead end, overlooking the river itself. This mill site was down in the wash on the right. So there is a road that you can drive down to into that wash, and you can drive towards the river. There's a barricade right there, about a little over 100 yards from the river itself. But that is where the mill site was. They built Hoover Dam, Davis Dam. In this picture, you can see the river right here. So now that water level's all the way up in here. This building's been all torn down anyways. When they build this one, they do use a lot of the material off of this onto this guy right here. 1880, 1900, 1907. This is the mill site once again. So here's your mill site right here. If you guys were to drive down there, you'd be parked on top of this hill right here. Looking down into this, into the wash, you can see a steamboat, another big one here. This one's more of a big barge. There's no electricity out here. Everything is run off hit-and-miss motors, steam engines, stuff of that sort. They're paying the Native American Indians $1 for a cord of wood. So a cord of wood, 4 by 4 by 8 foot tall, is $1. Your cook out here makes $1.50 a day. Your laborers are $2. Your miner himself is $2.50 a day. The guy running the show out here is making $4.50 a day. That is great money back then. This being a family business, I make $4.50 an hour, and that's not good at all, right? So my dad says, "Hang in there." But you know, pretty cool. Power actually doesn't get here till 1936. That's once Hoover Dam is completed. So you know, it's just long days out here. You know, they're still buying candles in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They're still buying lots and lots of candles for light and stuff out here. But
That's interesting.
right here, I have we do a lot of movies, commercials, photo shoots. We just had like Enrique Iglesias was here. Travis Pastrana, he's jumping the fountains at Caesar's Palace. He was out here just last week. Bear Grylls, I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's been here twice. He was here just a couple, 3 weeks ago or so. We've had Beyonce, The Killers, Paramore, Luke Bryan's whole entire album, football, you know, Drew Brees, Jared Allen, Clay Matthews, Journey, Kevin Costner, Kurt Russell twice, Eminem, CeeLo Green, Chris Brown, Ludacris was here a little bit ago. Just non-stop people coming out here doing just photo shoots, movies, commercials, you know, just pretty fun. We're on a lot of shows, Discovery Channel. We do a show called Vegas Rat Rods, MTV Real World. I was on that, you know, nutty kid. So I didn't even watch it. That's how crazy it is. I'm like, yeah, no. But, all right, tools of the trade, single jack. So this is called a single jack. I can swing it with one hand. A double jack or a sledgehammer, it would be a lot bigger head, 14, 18-pound head. It would take two hands, but this is pretty much what they're using. And a drill bit, all right? So what they're gonna do is they're gonna put this drill bit right up to the rock, and they're gonna hit this. Every time they hit this drill bit, they're gonna turn it a quarter turn. So you can just imagine every hit is just barely drilling into that rock. A 1/16 of an inch, an 1/8 inch at a time. And I'm barely even hitting this, and you can just hear how loud and noisy this thing is. I'm gonna hit this really hard right now. So will you hold this for me? Smart girl, yeah, you just passed the test. So, I'm joking. No, they call me lightning because I never strike twice in the same spot. So you just want to watch your wrist, all right? No. So, yes. All right, you did pass the smart test. So that's for sure. So. All right, so this mine, so they're going to drill a hole 3 foot into the rock. They're going to take a powder chart. So dynamite is not even invented yet. Dynamite's not invented until 1867. This mine once again starts in 1861. They're going to put this powder charge into there. It's natural glycerin, blasting powder mix. They're going to take a wood tamping rod. You want a wood tamping rod because when you hit this in there, it won't make a spark. There's a guy buried outside named Matt Simon. He makes a spark, blows up, kills him. There's a big triple-decker school bus out there. He's buried right over there now. They're going to pack this charge all the way to the back of the hole, and this fuse is going to be sticking out of the hole itself. They're going to take like a mud-dirt mixture and kind of pack it into this. What that does is it keeps this explosion from blowing straight back out the hole. When this goes off, it's going to take the path of least resistance. So if there's no pack in there, they don't have their holes drilled very well. It's just going to kind of blow a big cone out is all that's going to happen instead of blowing it, you know, sheer in the back here. Like the fuse, blow it up, muck it out. Once Alfred Nobel invents dynamite in 1867, you know, the plungers, the same thing Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner used right here. Just a square box with a T-handle, makes a little tiny electric charge, and it sets the explosive charge off. They're pretty much using the same thing now, except, you know, they have a battery. Instead of just using, you know, this creates electricity by a little generator in there, but they just have a little battery, sets off the charges the same pretty much right now. We have a lot of history and stuff out here. A Vody. So Vody's a renegade Indian out here. He kills 3 people. He kills 2 people right on the other side of that hill right there. Another guy on the other side of Nelson. So that town you guys drove through about a mile up the road is the town of Nelson. That guy's name is Charlie Nelson. So Charlie Nelson got killed in 1897 by this Vody. Bad dude. They catch him, kill him. This guy's name is Hank Parrish. He kills 9 people in the surrounding areas. He kills 4 people literally right here, and 5 more from here all the way up into Pioche, Nevada. They catch him in Pioche, Nevada. They hang him in Ely, Nevada. So Ely's about a 5-hour drive north of here. This guy's the worst. His name is Quio. He kills 23 people. The last person he kills, her name is Maud Douglas, and Maud Douglas gets killed right up over here, about 150 yards. There's a cement pad over there right now as you speak. Her family come out in 2002 and just puts up a little monument right there saying that she gets killed here. Little history and stuff about her. But they put a $3,000 reward on him. This is one of the posses that was looking for him. There's 3 posses that were actually looking for him. But they don't find him until 1940. And when they do, this is what he looks like. This is his mummified remains right here. You can see his head and his legs, foot right here. There's guns, bows and arrows, pots, pans, knives in his cave. They find him roughly about 13 miles this way, right off the Colorado River, about a half mile. There's a little natural cave right there, and they do find him in there though. I've been into his cave a few times, and there's just old stuff in there to this day. They talked about like there was a Bible in there when they found him. It was all chewed up by the mice. Well, there was little fancy pieces of paper still laying around in there. I imagine it's from the Bible itself, but pretty cool. This is the wagon train right here. This picture itself was taken a little after 1900 right here. This picture itself was taken right where the Union Plaza Hotel is. So the Union Plaza Hotel is the Fremont Street Experience, kind of on the northwest corner of the Fremont Street Experience. That's actually where the train depot used to come into town right there. So that's literally where this picture is taken. You can see that's a man right here, another guy here, a couple more fellas. This wagon train actually is going to Beatty, Nevada, is where this train was going, but this one does come here every now and then. Now, in 1900, when this picture is taken, there's roughly 100 on the United States Census, 144 people living right here. 30 people live in Las Vegas, and that's it in 1900. So, pretty cool. This right here is a map of the tunnels across the street. Was the access tunnel. So all the ore from ground zero, the 100-foot level, are brought down to this level. All the ore from the 300, 400, 500, 600-foot level are brought up to this level. It's put into ore carts. That mule will pull that ore cart right out this hole and dump it into a wagon right outside here. So everything has to come to this level because it's ground level out here. So there used to be ore cart tracks and stuff coming right on through here. Once they were done with this tunnel, they tore all these ore cart tracks out and they took them down and used them down at the 400, 500, 600-foot level, down deeper actually. Like I said, you guys are going to want to watch your heads. We'll go nice and easy, walk in the middle, single file. You're all right. So yeah, you're okay too. Yeah.
I'll just take
let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and start walking in. We're going to go nice and easy. Let our eyes will adjust as we go also. You guys are more than welcome to take pictures, stuff of that sort. We've turned down Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. They both wanted to film in here. We told them no. We don't want people looking for ghosts at 2 in the morning out here, you know. Tired of shooting people, you know. So, all right, you guys, just follow me right on in. Keep a light on here for a second.
So where does the breeze come from?
So the breeze is, here I'll explain it here. We're going to stop right up here. So if you would, you just come right here. Perfect, right there. You guys come right on over here. Perfect, right there. You guys good, good. Perfect, you guys plenty good right there. All right, so the breeze that we're feeling right now, there's 3 miles of tunnels in here. So what's happening is the barometric pressure is always equalizing itself out. So you got pressure up here, wind blowing, a hot, cold down here, and it's always going to kind of equalize itself out. So that's all that's happening is the pressure itself is just kind of equalizing, which will suck the air from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards this way to try and blow it out this way. Sometimes it sucks it in this way, blowing back over here. So it's just pressure equalizing itself out here. Now, once again, we just walked down the access tunnel. What kind of rock these guys looking for again?
Quartz.
Quartz. All right. So if you guys look right here, there's your quartz running right through here.
Oh, cool.
So what's happened right here is an earthquake has happened right here, and it's fractured the ground itself, 40 to 60 miles deep into the earth itself. A lot of gold and silver, iron, nickel, just your heavy metals, precious metals are deep in the earth itself, liquefied. So it's 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 degrees down there. What happens is an earthquake happens right here, fracturing the ground. A lot of water down in the earth itself. So what happens is water deep in the earth is very hot, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 degrees, like I was saying. That kind of temperature, it creates steam. Steam builds up pressure. When that earthquake happens, it gives the pressure somewhere to go. That steam starts shooting up from deep in the earth, and it's carrying with it that gold and silver, that liquefied gold, silver, copper, iron, nickel, whatever it is. Starts shooting it right up this crack caused by the earthquake itself. It's kind of like a percolator on a coffee, just like a percolator coffee, how it's always constantly just shooting steam up this crack right here. So, comes out, it cools down, crystallizes. So your steam itself, mixed with a lot of other minerals, crystallizes, turns into the quartz itself right here. Wherever the melted gold, silver, copper, iron is at in this quartz, when it cools down is where it stays in this rock until it erodes out of the top of the mountain, or until it's mined out of the mountain like this. When that earthquake does happen, it fractures the ground to the left and the right. That's what you get right here is these fractures right here. That steam fills all of these voids right here. Now, on the kind of rock we're walking in, all this rock right here, this is all rhyolite. So rhyolite itself is what this mountain is made out of. Now, if there's no quartz in that rock, so if you don't have any quartz in the rock, there's going to be no gold or silver in this mountain. You need the quartz. That's what these guys are chasing, is this quartz. No quartz, no gold. Now, let's see here. What we're walking in has all been dug out by hand. So this has all been dug out by hand. There's no natural cave of any kind out here. 100 years ago, the average man was about your size right there. That's why this thing is huge coming through here.
I'm the average.
So, like I said, I definitely wasn't a miner back then, because it would be a little bit higher. But
you were in New York.
Yeah. Jackhammers, airlines, stuff like that. So, what we're walking in was done with the single jack and the drill bit. These jackhammers are invented, right when this mine starts going. This is a pneumatic and water line right here. This is your air hose. It's canvas with a coil wrap around it, soaked in well blubber. That well blubber is like an oil that would hold the air into that canvas itself. What we're going to be doing right now is just walking into this next room over here. Once again, this quartz vein is just continuing this way. When we walk over here, this quartz vein you can see is only 5 inches wide, 8 inches coming through here. It's going to get a lot wider going this way through here. The miners are going to start digging everything straight up, straight over, straight down, chasing that quartz vein. So follow me right into this next room here.
Whoa.
Take a few more steps right there. Perfect. So, yep. Take a look up above you too.
Cool. This way up.
So once again, just everything's been dug out by hand right here. Now, if you guys turn around again to see where my flashlight's shining right here, look at that quartz vein right there. That quartz vein just got a lot bigger and richer, and that's all these guys are doing. They're just chasing that. So once again, you can see it just went straight up, straight over, straight down. That's all these guys are doing. That's why this mine's 600 foot deep, is these guys are chasing this quartz vein right now. It's just continuing straight down, deep into the ground right here. All the timbers above our heads are all original timbers.
Wow.
That were in here. All the metal we're walking on, we put that in. When we got the place, there was no business here, or let alone anything worth $2 here. So, you're crazy. You're walking first on this rickety old bridge. I usually stop right here.
How far down it
Right
is.
here. You guys see where my flashlight's shining right there on the ground? You might need to come right over here. There's a glowing green rock right down there. You guys see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that a minute
Glowing
ago.
green rock right there.
Oh yeah.
What that is one of the rarest rocks in our universe right there. And that's one of the only known pieces of kryptonite. That's why I get weak in here whenever I come in. No, it's a cord cap. It's a cord, just to let us know there's powder on there. It's not kryptonite.
You should have just stopped at kryptonite. On my photo,
Oh yeah, the only known piece of kryptonite.
This is so.
All right, just looking at the rocks in front of our faces, you guys, you can see all the quartz just kind of spider webbed all through the rock right here. Once again, these are just kind of like spider veins running through here. Your main load-bearing vein was running right through the middle. These are just the smaller veins that these guys are chasing right here. If you guys would just kind of, you can walk right over here to the end. Perfect. Just single file, yeah, perfect. Right above your guys' head right here, I do have my bird. I had my bird. So I have a bird right here with some feathers in it, it looks like. Miners, especially your coal mines and stuff, there's a lot of hazardous gases in there, methane, natural gases and stuff down in these down in the mines themselves. They didn't have carbon dioxide detectors or smoke detectors, stuff like that. They would bring a bird in there, canaries usually, because they just sing and sing and sing. If their bird stops singing, you know there is bad gas, and you have to get out. Your natural gas, so like when you turn on your stove at home, you smell that rotten egg smell on your gas. The gas company puts that smell into your natural gas so you can't smell a gas leak. In real life, there is no smell to natural gas. So they do put that smell in there. Your bird dies, get out, pretty much. Don't worry, this bird did not die of bad gas. I thought my brother was supposed to feed it. He thought I was supposed to feed it. I mixed up his story. So
it did die.
yeah. No. So what we're gonna do? No, what we're gonna do right now, you guys, we're just gonna kind of walk down this side right here, look over the edge, and then you're gonna hang a U-turn and just kind of work your way back over here. Now, if you guys just stand right where this pretty lady is right here, you can look down and there you can see some lights deeper in the earth right there. That's these stopes, this big stope, are going deep, deep, deep into the earth, all the way down to the 600-foot level. As long as that quartz vein is big and rich, the guys are going to chase it right here. So
wait, from right here it goes down how far?
it's another 400 feet down below.
Have you gone all the way down there?
The groundwater actually starts at the 400. I've been down to groundwater
I was
itself.
gonna say, so like in your, like when no one else is here touring, like do you come explore?
I did, and then I had kids, and then I decided it's not in my best interest.
Yeah.
I want to retire now.
But that would be
Awesome.
so fun. Like
Oh, yeah.
as a kid or
There's
like
just
when
cameras
younger, that
everywhere.
had to be like,
Yeah.
it's like so exciting.
Yeah, my dad's,
Original
so when,
wood.
That's so cool.
when they got it, his first words were, "Do not go down this ladder, I will whoop you."
Yeah,
Yeah, like 2 days later, yeah.
yeah,
No.
you're down the ladder.
This way so I can look down here.
So cool.
Oh,
Goes so far down.
Oh yeah, it's pretty, no helmets,
you
no.
just don't know like
young
anything
and
could
dumb.
happen.
Yeah, yeah, no idea.
And there's no part of it that's active anymore.
No, we
So there
don't.
could be like so much more that's
Yeah,
not even
yeah, there
like
could
that
be ore in
touched.
there, you know. It was kind of getting towards the end of its life, you know.
Okay.
Once again, you can literally start digging 5 more feet
Yeah.
and it can turn into solid gold.
Right,
You just don't
right.
know. You know. It's just like a guessing game, taking risk reward
Cool.
type of stuff.
How extensive it is for being that like back then, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cart down there. Mining cart.
Oh, it's so cool. And there's like a shovel.
It's so hard to see on the camera. It's just dark in here.
Guess what else do you do?
Goes way up.
Oh, that's so cool.
All right, we're gonna go back this way. All right, come on in here. You can come on in here a little bit farther if you guys would. Yeah, perfect. So, as we look up right here, you guys can see the quartz vein again running right through here. Now, if you guys look, you can see it's running right down the roof of this tunnel right here, right? So as you, they're just chasing this quartz vein. They're hoping it gets bigger or richer. That stope we just walked in over there, this is what it looked like at one time. Actually, it was solid rock. They dug a tunnel in there just like this, except the quartz vein, wasn't just 6 inches. It was a lot bigger. So they started digging straight up, straight over, and straight down, chasing that quartz vein. This right here, there's gold and silver in it, but it's just not worth it to start digging it out and mucking it out. So all they're doing right here is just following this quartz vein, hoping it gets bigger, richer, anything. It doesn't, and this tunnel comes to an end in about 70, 80 yards down here. Now, if you guys look right here, see where my flashlight is shining right there. Now, if you look in there, you can see some kind of yellowish rock right in the center of my light right there. You can see some like little speck of gold. That's gold right there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of really small pieces in right through here that you can see going through the rock itself. So that's what gold looks like in its just natural form. That's probably about $12, $15 worth of gold right there. I used to have about 50, 60 bucks worth right here, but somebody broke in here, chipped it out, and stole it, literally. So, like, if I'd have caught him, I'd have probably given him, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks in lead, because my 45 hollow points are about $5. Yeah, it holds about 15 rounds, so, like, these people are nuts.
It goes way up.
Yeah. No, I've learned, I don't like shooting at people anymore because they can shoot back. So now I come out with a nice banjo.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How high does that go up there?
This goes up 50 foot. It goes to the 151 level,
Okay.
so 49 foot technically. And what this is called is a grub tunnel. So what they're doing is they need to get the ore from up above us down to this level to get it to the wagons outside. So they dug this. They're throwing the ore from up above down the chute, shoveling it up, putting the ore carts, and pushing it out is the reason for this hole right
A
here.
little
So,
dusty, eh?
yep. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm lighting the camera. All right. So these miners right here are using candles from 1861 to 1900. Carbide lamps were invented in 1900 itself. All a carbide lamp is, it's kind of like there's like little small ones about this big, and there's a little kind of headlamp on the front of it, kind of like a light. It kind of shoots the light out.
Yeah. Carbide
in the bottom, water in the top. The water drips down on the carbide. Chemical reaction happens. It creates acetylene. So acetylene is a flammable gas. It comes out a little tiny pinhole. They light that little tiny pinhole, and that little cup kind of shoots the light out. And once again, it's about 3 times brighter than a candle. This is what it looked like right here with just candles. Can you imagine having to work in this kind of light every day? We get a lot of backlight behind us even. But there's your quartz vein though right there. So wherever this quartz vein goes, the miners are chasing it. So pretty cool. Now real quick, have you ever seen Scooby-Doo? Because they always take the person in the back. So I'm just letting you know.
She's like, no.
No. So, no, earlier, this mine right here was a claim at one time. What a claim is like any one of you guys can go out, open up a claim, and mine it. You can mine it for gold, silver, copper, iron, make a rock quarry out of it, whatever you want to, but the government owns the land. When you're done, you clean up all of your stuff, take it out, and then the land goes back to the government. This was a claim at one time owned by George Hearst. George Hearst was William Randolph Hearst's father. Now, it got mined for so long it turns into a patented claim. So that's how we own it now. The government actually gave the land to the company that owned the mine at one time, so it's private at that point, and they can sell it. So we own the surface, we own underground. Like your guys' houses, you own the surface, you don't own underground. Like if you're sitting on top of a big oil field or a gold mine, you can't, nothing you can do with it. All right, on that note, George Hearst has the claim on this mine. A guy by the name of John Nash hires 3 guys to claim jump this from him, and he promises them each $500 a piece. They agree to it. So these 3 guys, they move here. They're here for months and months and months. They get all this land put into John Nash's name. When they go to collect their money, John Nash does not have the money. He says he's good for it. He just doesn't have the money right now. 2 guys are okay with this. One isn't. His name is R.B. Jones. I did what you wanted. Pay me my money. So he's kind of making a big old stink out of it. I want my money. John Nash tells Piet, another claim jumper, get rid of this R.B. Jones and you can have his $500. He starts spreading rumors about him that this RB's poisoning the water, he's doing bad things to the miners. The miners actually turn against this guy. One day, Piet walks into RB's tent. He pulls a gun out and he shoots him right in the back and drops him right there. RB then pulls his own gun out, turns around, shoots back at Piet, hits him in the arm. RB jumps up, running for his life down this canyon. Piet runs into the camp saying he shot me, RB Jones shot me. The miners grab their guns and they start chasing this guy. They said he ran down the way and he jumped into about a 3 to 4 foot deep hole, 6 foot around. So we're pretty much this size right here, 3 to 4 foot deep. The first miner comes up over the hill. RB pops up and he shoots that guy dead. So they surround him in this hole. 2 days, bullet hole in his back, no water, and it's summertime. So summertime, no good out here. Second day rolls by, he does give up, just please give me some water, I need water. They agree to it, so they walk over with the canteen. They don't give him a canteen, they give him a bullet right in the head and kill him. They bury him in this hole, story's over. Story's not over though. It talks about miners. These miners that were non-believers, so they didn't believe in ghosts or stuff of that sort, they would not come in here by themselves. They wouldn't come in here after dark. They would see the ghost of R.B. Jones in the mine that we're in right now. Like I do a lot of hunting. I do not get afraid of the dark. Middle of nowhere by myself, I don't get afraid of the dark. When I come in here, this is only about 500 feet of over 15,000 feet of tunnels that has lights in it. The rest of it is flashlight. So, be in the back doing chores, kind of walking down there doing my stuff. My mind starts racing. And I'm like, man, Joe Beck, you got to look behind you. You look behind you, you take another step, you look again real quick. Spooky. It's just spooky. I don't know what else to say about it. Now, one day my cousin, he was way in the back, another couple hundred yards back. This is before we even had a mine tour, so we don't even have mine tours. He's the only person that lives here. He's doing some prospecting. Nobody knows he's in here.
Oh no.
Now, he's back there just doing his thing, and he starts hearing a chain rattle, he said. And he says this thing is just getting closer and closer and louder. And footsteps, he could hear footsteps, you know, coming with this. No light, it's coming in complete darkness. It's our dog. So our dog smelt him all the way from outside and followed him in hundreds of yards into the mine. It's a little beagle, like its collar is like as big as my pinky maybe. So the chain sounded probably like this. Imagination sounded like They were both really happy to see each other. The dog was in complete darkness. So, you know, that's probably why the chain was so loud as it's rubbing against the walls. Now, whole nother story, John Nash. So the same guy that has R.B. Jones killed, they hit the bridle chamber at the 300-foot level. It's another 100 foot down below us. This mine itself is averaging about 1 ounce of gold, 6 ounces of silver per ton. A ton of ore is roughly like a 55-gallon drum, or like a big trash can's about 1 ton of ore. So in today's prices, you're looking at about $1,300 in gold, a little over 100 in silver per ton. Now, this was 3,000 to 3,400 ounces of gold per ton in the rock itself. 3 owners at the time, John Nash and 2 other poor fellers. He has dinner with one guy down the river to celebrate the next day. That guy got strychnine poisoned at dinner time. Next night he has dinner with this guy, the other owner right here. Strychnine poisoned at dinner time. So it's just this John Nash dude is a bad dude. You got any birthdays out there or anything?
No.
Oh,
Katie's next.
Yeah, it's coming up.
23 days.
This is your birthday song. It's not very long. All right, go ahead. Let her out. Yeah. Yes. That was a pretty awesome birthday song. Right? I'm not a good singer. All right, so what we're going to do right now, you guys, just follow me right over here. 23 days, we know exactly how many. Oh, days of birth.
I'll go last. Our carrier's going last.
Run the left, perfect. Right there. Run the left and the right. Run the left and the right. Perfect. You're good. You know what? If you would come right up there. Yeah, perfect. We'll call that good. All right. I'm a miner. I'm working my way this way, right here. All right. So this is solid rock going this way. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drilling 2 holes right here in the middle. So 1 hole, 2 holes right in the middle. These are each 3 foot deep. There's no explosives in these holes at all. They're called relief holes. Now from there, I'm going to drill 5 holes around here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming around. 3 holes in the lid. If you guys look, you can even see these drill bit marks right here in the walls right here. So that's your 1 hole coming down the middle. You can even see this middle hole coming right through here. 2nd hole, 3rd hole over here. 4 holes in the bottom. These are called lifters. If you look, you can see it right here. So they're coming in about 45-degree angles. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 coming down through here. When they set this charge off, these 5 right here, they're going to go off first. It's going to blast everything in towards those 2 relief holes, the holes that have no powder in them. It gives the pressure somewhere to go, so it fractures the ground all the way through here. These top 3 go off second, just a fraction of a second later, and it blows the lid straight down. The bottom 4 go off last, and once again, it's called a lifter. It's going to lift all this busted up rock and throw it out here closer to his ore cart. From there, he picks up the big rock, puts them in his, in his cart, shovels up the small. A mule's going to pull that cart right out this hole, dump it into a wagon. He's going to come back and start all over. Now, these guys are doing about 3 foot a day. So if you guys look right here, you can actually see the day. This is your 1st day of work, your 2nd day of work, your 3rd day of work, your 4th day of work. Now look at this. 4th day of work, this guy goes from here to there. The guy does like 18 inches right here. He probably gets fired. And the new guy goes from here all the way back here. This dude does like 4 feet coming through here. So that's your 6th day of work. Your 7th day, once again, is coming from here to this point right here. Now look, you can see where your powder charge itself would be coming right here. Your fuse comes out this hole. That's the pack. So this is literally from the 1880s right here. That's the mud pack that they put in there to keep that blast from blowing straight out the hole right there. So that's generally the process of what they're doing. So about 3 foot a day. And once again, there's two miners working side by side right here, just kind of working their way this way. That is R.B. Jones right there. You can see if you go look over at him, he's got a drill bit in his head. Go check him out if you want. So he's the guy I was telling you about that was packing powder and the steel drill bit goes out through his head. So. You know what? It's not too bad, yeah. It's like if I said turn.